Well, FFP Discussions number 30? I think it's 30. Which is weird that I've done so many of these things. But yeah, this next one is going to be titled CrossFitter Does Marathon. Or can a CrossFitter do a marathon? I'll work on it. I'll work on the title. But with the point of this one, guys, is I'm doing a marathon. Belfast Marathon, 4th of May, May the 4th, the good old Star Wars day. It's a Sunday. I've actually got a wedding to go to the next day, which is going to be interesting for the legs. But it'll be good. But what I'm wanting to do in this, what this video is going to be about, first off, I'm putting my training sessions in the extras only work, or the extras work on the Fit for Purpose training program, so you can tag along with some of my training runs if you want to. It's definitely an optional thing there, but it's just so that it's just a good way for me to kind of keep myself accountable. Now, one thing I'm wanting to try with this marathon is, well, first of all, I've never done a half marathon before. The most I've ever ran was 11, 12 miles, so close to a half marathon. I actually just said that time, I was like, right, I'm going to run for 2 hours and I'll just see how far I get. And the goal wasn't to absolutely hammer myself. It was just, let's just run for 2 hours solidly and see how we go. So I didn't do a half marathon in that time, which was interesting. But it's the first time I'd ever tried it. Now, what I'm going to be doing with this marathon is, my plan is to do 2 runs a week for 16 weeks. This is week 1. I've already done 1 run and that was fine. And my goal is, can you do a marathon on 2 training days a week? And I'm still going to do 3 or 4 CrossFit sessions. So the idea being, is CrossFit able to prepare you for a marathon? In my bones, I'm like, I know the theory, I know it is, I know the methodology kind of tells me that, but I just want to do it and kind of prove to myself that I can do this minimally, and I don't need to go absolutely mad on the whole marathon prep. I can just stick to a running plan that's very minimal, but is going to be it's my kind of approach with all of my training is minimal input with a maximal output, is to get the most of each session. And each session, I'm using this really good app called Runna, and I've got my target time put in there. It's like 3:45 to 3:55 marathon. And this app basically spits out the training runs over the 16 weeks. You get and you just follow it to the letter. So my goal is to follow that and do that every single week without fail, and do 3 to 4 CrossFit sessions a week, depending on the week, but it'll be 3 at least. And I'll keep doing heavy days. I'll keep doing short, medium, and long workouts, and we'll see how it goes. So with that, guys, and I kind of touched on it before in the goals mindset thing, for me, this is a great way for me to put a bit of a focus on my training. But also it's something that I want to touch on, in that just because you can be a CrossFitter, or your methodology that you primarily train with is CrossFit, doesn't mean you can't do anything else. And it doesn't mean that you can't set a target within another training regimen and go for it. You can change up your approach. But you need to remember the thing that gives you the most benefit in training. And if you do CrossFit, you know that that is the most effective way to feel fitter, be fitter, stay strong, move fast, and feel and be overall fit and healthy. There's a few things that CrossFit doesn't do, which is train you for a marathon, specifically train for a marathon. You'll be very, very prepared in that you will have strong legs doing CrossFit, which will help you tremendously in a marathon. But training for a marathon, and if you want to run it without and you want to complete it without feeling like death at the end because your body is not conditioned to running that period of time or that distance, then actual conditioning for running is going to be necessary. Another thing with that, if you have a specialist goal, you need specialist training. CrossFit is a general goal, health and longevity for the generalist. So the approach needs to take a general physical preparedness approach. You can't. It's just the way that it works. So one thing that I believe though with CrossFit is that because it is so general, the umbrella that it casts and the net that it casts over all of these specialist areas is so large that you're going to catch some of those specialist areas. And if you try something for the first time that's going to be physically demanding and what you would normally call specialist, you'll probably do okay. So, for example, without even doing any running training at all, I believe I could just go and run a marathon. It would be very, very challenging. And by the end, my legs would be very sore and it would be incredibly tough, but I think I could do it. I also, there's many physically demanding versions of training that I believe I'd be pretty good at. Because CrossFit has prepared me in such a general way, I will by no means be the best at those things. But the whole point is that you're generally good in all these areas. So with this marathon, what I'm wanting to try and prove is that, and it's not that it needs proving either. It's more of I just want to test the methodology and I just want to see that it is what it says it is. Even though I've seen other people do it, but I just want to do it myself as a bit of a challenge, So I'm looking forward to it. And if there's anything that you've set out to do this year or you plan on doing this year, let me know. I would love to hear about it, and I would love to hear how you're going to use CrossFit to kind of bolster that up, and what your approach is going to be with combining the CrossFit with the specialist training and how you're going to approach that. Quick example for me, on a Wednesday, that's going to be my running day, Wednesday and Sunday. So I'm not going to do a heavy leg day on Tuesday. That's a silly idea. I'm not going to do one on Saturday either. So if I'm going to lift heavy, it'll probably be on a Monday or a Friday, just so that I've got a day of recovery in there. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, what you're planning on doing, and speak soon. Bye.